I notice that many trekkers come very underprepared for the Bhrigu Lake trek, and they're constantly underestimating the effort required to do this trek. And I can imagine why. It's a very beautiful trek. They see lots of grasslands, they see this beautiful lake at the top, and nobody really thinks about how difficult it is to get to the lake on top. So in this video, I'm going to give you an idea of what you need to prepare for and how difficult the Bhrigu Lake trek is. I'm Swathi from Indiahikes, and you're watching Trek with Swathi. Bhrigu Lake is what we classify as a moderate trek, and there are many reasons for us to classify a certain trek a certain difficulty level. It could be the terrain, the gradient, how steep is it, it could be the highest altitude you get to, it could be the snow, it could be the exit points on the trek, how easy is it to exit. So all of these factors come together to give a trek a certain difficulty rating. And Bhrigu Lake is what we classify moderate, and that's almost purely for one reason alone, and that reason is a steep ascent on this particular trek, and the highest altitude it climbs to, that's 14,000 feet. So this particular trek, not many trekkers realize this. You start from Manali, which is at around 6,500 feet, and immediately you reach your base camp, and then you start trekking, and it's a relentless ascent all the way from your base camp from Gulaba. So from Gulaba, right on day 2, you're at 12,500 feet, and the next day you're at 14,000 feet. So not many treks in our country climb this quickly, gaining altitude as you climb up. Each day you're climbing around 2,000 feet, and that kind of takes a toll on your body. So AMS is not such a big problem on this trek. Yes, you do face AMS, but unlike other treks, exit is very easy on this trek. You can come back down within a day. But what really tests you is that steep ascent on the trek. You need extremely good legs. You need to have cardiovascular endurance to do this trek, without which you'll absolutely struggle on the trek. So for Bhrigu Lake, make sure you prepare for at least a month and a half before your trek. You need to work on your cardiovascular endurance. Go running every day. It's a very good exercise because it will use the same muscles as you use while trekking, especially your quads, your calf muscles, your glutes. All of these get worked on when you're running. So make sure you strengthen all of these muscles and also build your endurance at the same time. Because if you have this, you'll be able to do the Bhrigu Lake trek comfortably. It's an extremely beautiful trek, lovely grasslands, and this beautiful lake on top. So that's all you really need to prepare for. Of course, it's climbing to a very high altitude, so make sure you read up about altitude sickness and how to tackle it in case you're facing any symptoms. If you're trekking with Indiahikes, of course, our team will be there to take care of you even in this case. So that's all you need to know about the difficulty level of the Bhrigu Lake. If you're worried about snow or rain or something, Bhrigu Lake has snow maybe till the middle of July, not beyond that, because it is a very exposed trail. It gets exposed to the sun, the snow begins to melt. So maybe you'll find some patches in the beginning of July to mid-July near the lake, but aside from that, it's a beautiful grassland. Rain, you must be prepared for it because you're trekking in monsoon, so make sure you always have your rainwear with you that you can put on anytime it starts raining and continue to trek. So that's about the Bhrigu Lake trek. If you have any questions, please drop in a comment and I'll help you out. Also make sure you read up the documentation of the Bhrigu Lake trek, because there are lots of small details that you don't want to miss out on this trek, especially at your campsites, the areas you can explore around. So make sure you read about that. If you have any other questions you specifically want to ask me, please write to tws@indiahikes.com and I'll get back to you. That's all from me today. You're watching Trek with Swathi.